Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Centre and welcome to the world of magic and miracles, where once again we explore all the things about ourselves that we've discovered in recent times. And we explore more so that we can step ahead and always stay in front of that surge of information that keeps flowing into our being and giving us life that we didn't think we had before. The emergence of magic and miracles in our life is now secondhand, or old hat, as they say. But each time we mention it, it comes alive. Each time we bring it into our life, something fires up that tells us there's something new happening. So every moment there's something new. But we don't really know what that new is. We just feel it. We sense it. And gradually we understand that we're seeing a lot more through all our senses that are not actually listed in this world than we have ever realized before. Many of our senses were packaged under single names so that they could be handled easily. But there's not one name you can put on any one signal out of a billion that make you smile. There's not one name you can put on anything that gives you that flutter in your heart when you look at somebody. You can try to summarize it, but there's not a chance of one word covering a million inputs or more. So now we're stuck with having to use something that's more developed than just our word summary. Our senses have developed even further than ever before. And it will take 1,000,000 years before anybody can attempt to name any of them. Any of the inputs and outputs that we can control easily through our simplistic sense of being human beings. The elegance that we see in children, in their ability to surpass what we thought would take years to learn. They surpass it the first time they make a sound, or even before. They're able to control the whole family, even before they can control their own body. And none of that has gone away with any of us. We still have all that. It's more refined now because it's been put into categories to stop it from working properly. So recently, we discovered that it doesn't matter how anything is covered up. It always appears exactly as it's supposed to the person who wants to know. And it doesn't happen by asking questions. It doesn't happen by inquiry. It comes out of nowhere. Just like that name where you've been trying to remember someone's name for months, and you're walking along talking to somebody about something entirely different, and the name pops in. Your system has been waiting for an opening to bring to you the data that it's always had hanging around in the background. The more sensitive we become, the less sensitive we are to reaction, because we get our answers before anybody says a word. That same data appears quickly, instantly, but it doesn't appear the way we expect. It always appears with everything else. It's like a book. They present you with the book and say the answer's in there. And the brain goes into turmoil and says, that's going to take me all my life to go through. But as soon as you use all the senses you have and all the skills that you have, instantly, the part of that data that you want is right there for you, standing out as if someone had opened the book and underlined the statement you need. As we become more familiar with this way of working, we will disengage the brain totally and allow it to have a rest and do all the things that it's supposed to do to run your body. Because there is no need to store what's already stored. There is no need to remember what someone else thinks you should remember. If you need it, it's there. And if you can see that as a possibility, in a very short time, it will simply creep up on you, just like that word, that person's name that you couldn't remember. The purpose of us retracking on all these things is so that you keep moving forward. You keep looking ahead, just like driving the car. And you keep taking that step that you thought would be difficult. And as you take the step, the excitement builds inside you and changes from what was fear to elation. The fact that you're stepping forward in life and going faster than anything else can ever track gives you stability. It gives you more data, more information, more energy than you ever need, because you're walking headlong into all that's provided for that moment. It won't come to you if you stand back. Life is a series of events when you take it relative to time. But when you take life relative to you, you can go headlong into all the stuff that you don't know anything about without looking anything up, without moving off your chair, just through being proactive in how you feel, in allowing the energies to flow and allowing yourself to absorb everything that comes to you and let it present itself as an image that you like. Like looking out over the ocean, you can come up with a description that is entirely different to the person standing next to you looking at the same scene, because you're taking in everything and you're not using any opinion. You're relating what it produces for you. So as you endeavor to scan your life, and to scan the world and to scan the universe, it's necessary to see that you can see and that you see it all. And the feeling you get, you can describe, but you cannot describe all the items that you take in, even in a lifetime. Just like if you're looking into the bush, into the woods, you see all the leaves, you see all the little animals and the birds and the creeks and stones and everything that makes up that picture. And you can describe the picture and you can even paint it. But it'll never be the same as the person standing next to you. And by the way, you took in 10 billion little images that you can push around to make something out of, and you took them in a fraction of a second. And if you want to, you can actually sit still for a moment and zoom in on any one of those parts that you saw for a fraction of a second. You have that capability. You can zoom in on that flower that you saw in the distance that a camera would never be able to pick out. You can take on any number of angles of the vision that you're looking at. You can consume the image that you would get from your eyes simply by closing them and see what you see. And you will see, because that is what you do when you're feeling your surroundings. You're standing on top of a hill, you go, oh, that feels great. Because there's more than just the vision. There's more than just the breeze on your back. Even though they are integral parts of the whole image, the remainder is 10,000 times more in the effect on the world and on the universe. So enthusiasm comes as a natural feat if you're ready to move into life and feel every part of it. Skip through the universe, hear a sound and go to that sound. Go to that aeroplane we can hear now. Walk up and down the corridor. Place yourself wherever you want. Love the being that is able to do that. And then you'll see another world. A world beyond even the one you know now. And it's in the physical plane. There are any number of worlds just sitting there that you can switch into anytime you want. I often talk about the world of stories, where you can sit and just go in there and they all approach you. And story after story comes to you and relates itself. And it does it in such a short time you wouldn't believe it. It can be less than half a second and you can consume 1,000 stories. And straight after that, you feel so elegant and so appreciated and so capable. You don't even have to discuss it. You can go and take in 1 billion movies and have them playing all at once and be able to decipher every one of them. And move in and focus on any one if you want, now or later. It happens to you when you're young. You know where to find the music that was playing when you were young. You don't even have to look it up. It comes to you. Like your favorite tree comes to you. Everything appears whenever and wherever you need it. And there's no buts about it. It always works. So the more you play around with these hidden abilities the more energy you will have for life, the more energy you will have to celebrate every minute, every moment, and everything in between. Because you can have a lifetime in between the ticks of a clock, from one second to the other. You can pick that lifetime out and you can enjoy it. And you can walk around all day feeling as a different person if you wish. You can test anything you like. You can put on a different character, just like they do in the movies, and walk around as a different character, and the world around you will change for that character. So what you're presenting to the world is very important, because it will just fit in with whatever you're presenting. So present the elegance of your majestic being that is capable of doing the impossible with ease, that has no need for a photographic memory because it knows exactly where the images went, and knows beyond a doubt that that image is available in 3D, rotating, upside down, whatever you like. You can go for a walk in somebody's backyard and you've never been there. You can pull in a picture from wherever you want and walk around. You can see exact details, including just a mark on the paint, or a scratch on the door, or a place where the dog sits. And all this is the fun that I live with every day. And once you try to tell anybody else, you'll get reaction until they see you're having a good time, having a really good time, living and maybe just walking around or standing or sitting, or even talking to someone. They'll say to themselves, there's something else going on in there. And there is. And there is for everybody. So I'd like to encourage the use of this advanced intelligence, the conscious use of the advanced intelligence. And do the simplest trick of all. Keep moving forward with everything and never look back. And never give yourself time to even criticize what you do, because you're not living in a time-based world. You're exposed to a time-based world, but you're not living in a time-based world. You're living in an extraordinary, random, unprecedentedly new series of events that are never going to happen again. And that defies time and space, defies all the laws that we've had placed around us, because those laws apply to a fixed set of conditions. Those fixed set of conditions, they called civilization. We have many, many different descriptions of that civilization in many forms. And it's got good and bad things about it. But it's basically a restricted way of living. And the human, in its natural state, has no limitations and does not disturb the person beside them or anybody else, because they have a world that's unique and it does nothing else but enhance everybody else's world. So look and feel and experience everything, and then dare to change it without affecting anybody. Just dare to go into that area, wherever you feel it is. It might be in outer space, it might be down the road, it might be in the Oval Office. Wherever it is, dare to change it and spend no time, no effort, and have no concern, because you can't make mistakes. You're a majestic being. You have everything in place. And all the things that you've been told were mistakes, they're mistakes in somebody else's world, not in yours. And there were mistakes in somebody else's world that was set on a certain limitation that you didn't respect. Unfortunately, they have a big toll on our physical body and our life, those sorts of interactions. But if you move forward fast enough, absorb more than is necessary, consciously stretch out of that zone of fixed actions and do something different every day, you can make it look like you haven't changed a thing, but your world will change and you'll have no effect from anything, because those effects only exist in a limited world. So as we move a little bit further, I'd like to mention that the exercise of writing is an art, just like the exercise of painting. And you're going to see a lot more writing in a whole different format than what you've seen before. So read between the lines, allow yourself to create the images that come to you as you read. Even if there's an image when you look at the text, enjoy it, because this is the format of the original word. It contains everything. It contains the energy, the intention, the goodwill, and the beautiful story that was delivered through the flow of the systems in the universe. And many people will start to write in this manner, and they will change the way everyone feels, not by the content, but by the context of how it's held, how it's presented, and what is transmitted as soon as you connect to that flow that comes from another person's origin. So with that in hand, you'll see that the written word is sometimes overshadowed by all the things that we do each day. Even the television doesn't stick to the to the original mode that it was supposed to deliver. That was to enhance the written word, to enhance the stories, and to show respect for what was made available to us without any effort at all. And that's the development of a story out of nowhere. And it's the greatest thing to hear from a child. And they don't make it up. They read it. It comes to them through the flow. And this is what keeps many of us alive. Because with that flow comes the elegance of respect and the elegance of your being, and the immense sense of depth in the feelings that are never expressed in the world. So in expressing my feelings on that, I would like everyone to give it whatever name they like. But right from that void that takes you into a storyline and allows you to do whatever you want with it. You'll even find the characters come alive and they tell you their name. The world of stories is a wonder that is displayed only through humanity, through the elegance of the advanced being that we've always known we are. So to finish off, I'd just like to encourage everyone to use whatever they have at their fingertips to present their gifts to the world. And even if it's not published, write in your own manner, for your own purpose, to fulfill that part of your being that will allow your advanced intelligence to operate. It sounds a little offbeat, but you will notice that as you continue, your intelligence will lead you to where you need to go. So thank you all for listening. And from us, once again, we sincerely wish you a perfect life, perfect health, and an extremely magic future. Thank you.